Speaking of improving from where we've seen and what we've seen to where they need to get to, it wouldn't be an Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show if we don't talk a little quarterbacks. G. Bush, in your opinion, what is the number one area of both Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders individually, so give me an answer for each, needs to work on from what we saw against Chicago, heading into joint practice with Buffalo, into the game on Saturday against Buffalo, and for the rest of the preseason to cement themselves as the possible starting quarterback in week 1 against Jacksonville?
You know what? See, I learned my lesson. You know what I learned my lesson was a couple of years ago, Zach Jackson was moving around, and they was at the Greenbrier. And Zach started to be moving around. And this is when people used to do the scrimmages, right? And it was a couple of years prior to that. I think they was at Indianapolis, right? And they just got destroyed in Indianapolis. And then in the game came around, they got smoked again. Last year, I think it was either the Minnesota Vikings they was playing, and I think the Browns just couldn't get a first down. And I said, you know what? Note to self, G. Bush, I'm going to need to go to these. I need to go to this Thursday practice and see. To me, if you want an accurate, representation of what it is that you could possibly see in the season, I'll come back and tell you on Thursday. Because what I saw in the game, there were some good things and moving around and, got the scripting together and you did some end arounds. But let's be honest with yourself. That ain't no regular game plan. They running vanilla stuff. I want to see what these dudes is doing against the Buffalo Bills ones. They not going to come out here and play with you. Like, you going to find out a whole lot with that. So for me, and we'll break it down with Deshaun Watson. I like what Deshaun Watson did in terms of some of the stuff. He looked more comfortable than I thought he would. He looked more healthy. But the thing I want to see him consistently continue to work on is, all right, now I want to see you push the ball downfield. Now I want to see you be able to move in the pocket and step up and make these throws. And I want to see, more of the downfield action throwing the football. For Shedeur Sanders, I want to see, all right, let's eliminate turnovers. You throw the ball downfield, you seem to be able to find the splash plays, but can I get to a point where now I can set my protections? I thought he did a much better job in that, and his footwork in the pocket was better. But now it's, hey, you got the splash plays, let's eliminate some of the turnovers and still keep some of the chunk plays. So I want to see them grow in the areas, not just what they're good at. I want to see you work on the things that has been a knock on you. So those are the two things I'm most willing to look at, and I think you'll see more in the inter-squad practices rather than the football game, because like you said, ain't nobody playing on Saturday if they ball.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think both quarterbacks have room to improve. I think Shedeur has more room to improve at this point. When you just look back at that game and you say to yourself, okay, we 6 for 11, 70-something yards and a pick. You're like, okay, well, he's got to take care of the football. He's got to get better getting in and out of the huddle. He's got to get the calls in a little bit quicker and cleaner. But you did see with Deshaun and the ones, like, we've got weapons now, guys. Mm-hmm. I mean, we've got some serious young talent on this football team that if they can distribute the football properly and on time, I think we'll have some explosive plays this year. Would like to see Deshaun take some more shots down the field. That's something he just hasn't really done, so we don't know his arm strength and where that arm talent is at right now. He had the fumble right late in the game, late in his so he got to take care of the football. Yeah. But I would say this much. I mean, I thought he did a pretty good job of looking like a professional quarterback, got him in and out of the huddle. Like, this is kind of the bar we've set here, which is not a very high bar. We want these guys to be able to make us look like an operation that looks professional. And I think it did look like that with Deshaun Watson, not as much so with Shedeur. So he's got to tighten that up in practice. He'll get a lot of reps, I'm guessing, in this game on Saturday, because they'll probably play a ton. Certainly if the ones don't play, he's going to be up against it, because he's going to have backups out there protecting him against whoever plays for Buffalo.
Yeah, to your point, I wrote something today on like the weapons that the Browns have. They have playmakers now who can carry the quarterback.
Yeah.
And they don't. There's some teams where the quarterback has to carry the offense, and there's some teams where the offense carries the quarterback. And I think the Browns are very much in the offense carries the quarterback.
We just need a point guard right now.
With Quinshawn, with Concepcion. We're going to talk about KC in a little bit. Yeah. I was so impressed with him. I forget who. Maybe it was Tyvis. Somebody said, "Wait till we get to camp. Like, that's when his speed's going to show." That's because OTAs, everybody's talking about Denzel. Nobody's really talking about KC. And now I think you're starting to see what KC can really bring. But when you're talking about the quarterbacks, for me, for Deshaun, it's ball security. With both of them, it's ball security. It's ball security, and it's what does it look like when he starts getting heated up? when there's pressure coming, when the pocket's collapsing. Is he getting skittish? Can he hang in there? He had the fumble, but it's deeper than that. It's just, is he going to bail? Is he going to hang in there? And with Shedeur, I think the operation, I mean, Todd Monken's still talking about it, about getting it out of the huddle, getting the plays in faster, diagnosing what he's seen a little bit quicker. So it's the things that are hard to watch necessarily in the moment of the broadcast. It's hard to say,
Right.
to understand some of that stuff. But and you know, we talked about yesterday, Shedeur's got a beautiful deep ball, but you can't live on that alone. And I do think he's getting better at taking what's given to you and you know, hitting a single. And not everything has to be a triple and a home run. It's okay to hit a single, and you know, 2nd and 7, 2nd and 6. It's better than 2nd and 10,
right?
Or an interception going the other way.
Yeah, I think, you know, I looked at it and I went back and watched the film, and I went back and saw, and I said, you know, I like what I see in terms of him, the protections, understanding there's a play where the center is looking around and the center, you know, looks to the left, looks to the right, and they see that it's going to be a zero blitz. So they're like, oh, let's get back into this. Let's get in, do a quick snap. And the thing is, you know, on the deep pass to Florio, Shedeur understands, okay, zero coverage. Now let me throw this football and put it in a place where Florio can run, and the DB doesn't have an opportunity to undercut it a little bit. And so he puts it out in front of him, has him come back to the ball a little bit. And those are the plays that you want to see. But like you said, when you're trying to be a franchise quarterback, the thing that you got to marry is, at what time do I make the move? Like the quarterback has to decide, okay, this play is here and I got to take the shot, because I know if I don't take the shot, it's going, everything else is condensed. I got to try him on this play.
Yeah.
But then there's some plays where it's like, hey, this 2-yard little dump off is the play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Live to fight another day.
Yeah.
Like,
well, it's funny because with Shedeur, sometimes you're begging, not everything has to be down the field. And with Dylan and with Deshaun, it's, hey, could you throw it down the field once in a while?
Yeah,
it's
it's,
can we
you
find
vary?
a happy medium between the two?
And it's like, and it's sometimes, and then with Deshaun, it's like, what I want to see him is it, and the thing that you saw with Watson in Houston, Dustin, is he was always willing to go deep. That was the best thing. He was, I'm extending, and if you out of phase, we going deep. That was one of the best parts of his game. I don't know if it was because of the shoulder and the injuries that he doesn't have that level of a confidence in that type of throw, but I want to see that a little bit more as he gets more comfortable in what they want to do.
What's going on with his elbow or something? You said there's some tingling sensation in the elbow. Is that a thing we were concerned about?
He said he was fine a few minutes after. So I'm not
Oh, he got it. It was the elbow or his hand or something like that. I think Monken kind of spoke to that. But here's another big part, guys. The big one for Deshaun is not so much the procedure and that stuff. It's, hey, bro, can you stay healthy?
100%.
Yeah.
Can you give me 4 in a row, 5 in a row?
How many times are you going to get hit, and can you get back up? Because he hasn't done it in 6 years.
And, you know, you talk about, go back to when Stefanski was the coach, and it was crazy because there was times where we would be waiting on a Thursday to figure out, they're like, is Deshaun going to play? We don't know. Deshaun going to play? We don't know. And then Saturday will come, and then he's doing like some tryout stuff and throwing to see how he feels. And it's like, yeah, I don't know if I could go today. You're like, whoa, well that means DTR's playing, bro.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
That was the Ravens game. He told him all week he was good. Showed up Sunday morning. He's like, nah, can't go.
So to me, that's a big part of it as well. Like, I want to see if he can get in his game. And my question to this is, how is this going to work? Because maybe this is a contradictory statement to me, but didn't they say if they was going to get their work in, that the starters weren't going to play? So how is it that Deshaun Watson going to play in the third quarter?
Well, because this is still a quarterback competition, and he technically hasn't been named the starter yet, even though we all know he's probably going to be the starter, and that's enough air quotes for today.
I can't imagine he plays in this game if he plays well this week in practice.
They could easily pivot and change.
Okay,
Especially if you're Todd Monken and you look at what you saw on Saturday and you think to yourself, okay, right now, if I'm Todd, I feel like I have one guy that can play, at least week 1, and that's Deshaun, because he was able to run a proficient professional looking operation.
You're going to put him up behind a backup line?
No,
behind the line.
no.
That-
You're not, because you're talking about the injuries, and I agree with you guys.
Right.
You're not going to put him out there with the backup offensive line.
So I was just combing through the audio, and it was like, hold on. Well, you usually was going to tell me Deshaun going to play with the threes, but then ain't nobody else is going to play. Well, that means he's going to be playing with the fours then.
Well, listen, all that's up in the air and to be determined. Todd's going to see how the week goes, and that's what coaches do. He's dangling a carrot in front of him, saying, "Hey, listen, you guys practice well.
Yeah.
We'll
earn your
we
day
won't
off.
make you go out and play in this game."